Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm Mehder Miriam Sinclair, and I have something on my mind. I was teaching a class the other day of children, 9, 10, 8. Uh, and I had told them the story of Talut and Jalut and Dawood alayhi salam. And afterwards, one of the boys said, "Oh, that reminds me of a movie I saw." And he described a movie that had all kinds of he said all kinds of magic things in it, and lots of battles. And I thanked him for sharing, and then I asked the class what they thought was the difference between the two stories, the one that I had told and the one that was in the movie. And I was hoping what I would get was that, well, the one that you told is something that really happened, and the one that was in the movie didn't happen. But they didn't come up with that. They didn't have that answer. And so this is why I decided I wanted to bring it up, because I think that it is something that we need to pay attention to with children, that children have a great need of being helped to understand that there are things that actually happened, and then there are things that are said to have happened, or there are things that are made up. And even when you're bringing up a child and you're teaching them about not telling lies, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old might tell a lie just simply because they don't really understand that there's a difference between what really happened and what didn't happen. And if you simply talk to the child about, is this something that I could have seen happen if I were there? Is this something that really did happen? That when they begin to understand the difference, and they begin to understand what it means to tell a lie. So I explained to them that the story that I had told them, that if they could travel back in time and over any inch of this earth, they would be able to come to the place on the earth where Talut stood. And they would have seen the place on the earth where Jalut fell. And they would have heard the splashing of the water of the soldiers going through the river, and the slurp, slurp, slurp of the weak ones who couldn't do what Talut was asking of them. And they wouldn't have been able to hear the little sipping of the half handful of water that Talut had given them permission to drink. Because all of these things are from the certainty of the Quran. And we know about the certainty of the Quran because we know about the descriptions it gives us about the development of the fetus in the womb, and the descriptions it gives us about the coming into being of the universe. So we know that things that are told to us in the Quran are things that we can rely on, things that we know actually happened on the earth under the force of gravity. And the other things, the things that are in the movie, if we traveled back in space and time, we would never be able to come to a place where any of those things happened. We would never be able to find it because it never happened. Now, this is not to say that things that are good, the things that actually happened are the only things that we should talk about. And it's bad to make up things that happened. That's different. That's another kind of impoverishment. Because ever since the beginning of language, people have made things up in order to illustrate things that are true, like morals and good character, for instance. So that's not what this is about. But what this is about is that we need to, and it's true for all of us, with all the things that are coming at us every minute from every direction, we need to continually be aware of which things are coming at us that have certainty about having happened, and which things are made up. And there's another whole chapter to this about things that are made up. We come from Islam, which is, mashallah, based on things that are verifiable. the whole energy of the deen and the traditions and everything is about what is verifiable, what is actually true. But that's not to say that things that fall outside of the certainty of revelation have no benefit. That's not true. They do. But we need to know the difference between them. So may Allah help us and guide us and keep us on the straight path.